Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is CMG Talk, and this is about how we perceive ourselves, our self-esteem. And people often talk to me about being driven by their emotions and feelings because, of course, our emotions are very powerful. And how we see ourselves, our self-identity, is driven by our past experiences, our upbringing, life experiences, and how we choose to see things. And people say, but can you actually choose to see things a particular way? Of course we can. Of course we can. It takes practice though, because we've learned to see things the way we're seeing them. We've put the effort, the time, the energy into seeing things the way we see things. We can unlearn, we can rewire our brain to see things in a different way if we want to. I always ask, how's it working for you? That's one of the questions I'll ask my clients. So how's this working for you? Now, usually if they're presented to me, the answer to that is, well, not really. It's not really working for me. That's why I'm here. But when I ask that question, it's a rhetorical thing because I'm really getting my clients to go inside themselves to ask that to themselves. How is this working for me? The minute we make that shift change and say to ourselves, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm saying this, I'm acting this way, I'm feeling this way. How is it working for me? The minute we pose that question to ourselves, imagine what that does. Imagine what that does. The shift change is already starting to happen because you're questioning and challenging those thoughts, those feelings, and those actions. It doesn't make sense to continue doing something if you recognise what you're doing, what you're thinking, how you're feeling isn't working. So then what's the next question? Well, something needs to change. So you're telling yourself, this isn't working. I'm recognising that. I'm owning it. Then I'm saying to myself, something has to change. So what has to change? What has to change? Now that's when we have to really go there. We have to go there. We have to go to that place of where we are and how we've got there. And that's when I start sensitively challenging what it is that's going on. And that's why I encourage clients to do a reflective journal often. I encourage them to be mindfully present in the moment. Because we get so busy, so distracted that we brush over things. We don't really go in depth to really what's happening. And that's how we continue doing what we're doing. We let it go. We procrastinate. We put off. We get distracted. We make allowances. We say, well, you know what, it's good enough. It's good enough. But is it the best? Is it the best that I can do? Is it what I want? But equally, is it what I need for me to thrive? Am I just going through the motions? Is it something that I'm doing that's holding me back? And whatever it is, whatever we're talking about here, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's being complacent about moving on in your career, whether it's not being that self-believer. You know, you have to believe to receive to achieve. I love saying that to people. You have to believe to receive to achieve. It's true. You have to see yourself and believe in yourself. You have to recognise your worth and your value. If you don't do that, who else is going to see it? How can you expect other people to see it? People say, I don't believe in myself enough. That's a choice. If you tell yourself I'm not good enough, that's a choice. Why are you saying that within yourself? When I ask people, without a word of a fail, when I ask people, would you tell that to the person that you hold closest, dearest, that you love the most, that you love unconditionally, would you tell them you're not good enough? They always go, no, absolutely not. There's such conviction in it. And I say, but why? And they'll say, because it's not kind, because I love them, because I care about them. And I'm going, so you don't love yourself, you're not kind to yourself, you don't care enough about yourself. That's what you're saying. Yeah. I need to love myself more, I need to care about myself more, I need to be kinder to myself. If your inside voice, your internal dialogue isn't your own best champion, if isn't there saying to yourself, you may not be perfect, but you're imperfect, and that's what makes you human, and that's how you're here to learn and to grow, to become the best version of yourself. But if you don't accept you for who you are and work on the things you need to work on, but understand your strengths and what you do well, and recognise that you contribute and you have people around you that love you, that acknowledge you. And if you don't, then you need to change up the people you have around you. That's just the facts. Self-esteem, self-confidence, self-worth, anything to do with us is about working on ourselves. If we're not prepared to put the hard work in, then can we really feel our most fulfilled? And often we'll see qualities in other people that we don't recognise in ourselves. Other people will see them. Other people will see the qualities in us that we don't see. They will see our strengths. They will see behind the mask, the facade, but they'll also recognise the vulnerabilities if we let them close enough. And if we want to be and have more, and if we want to be able to fulfill our emotional needs and not just do it in a superficial way, listen, I like nice things as much as anyone else. I do, and I'm the first one to say, right? But I think it has to be balanced. I think if you're constantly fulfilling your life without fulfilling it with relationships and connections, and because things come and go, they don't last. The feeling we attach to them doesn't last. People, emotions with relationships, that's what gives us a sense, the release of the serotonins, the oxytocins, the good endorphins that we get. These are the things that give us a sense of worth and esteem and confidence and a sense of knowing us, validation. You also need to be giving that to ourselves too. We have to have a good self-relationship. And I'm not telling you don't already know. These are things you know already. And I know when you're listening to this, you'll be saying, yeah, I get that. And I lose count of how many times people sit with me and go, I know. And people say that all the time. You're right. I know, you're right. I ought to. So when are you going to start? Investing in yourself and seeing it as something that is what you just do. It becomes part of who you are. Being self-full, being able to invest in you, and the small things make a big difference. Having that time whether it's doing meditation or mindfulness or prayer or having reflective time, decluttering your mind, making sure you get rested sleep, making sure that you're eating well, connecting well, having fun and playfulness and laughter, challenging yourself in some way, whether you're learning something, whether you're engaging in, crosswords or activities, I don't know. But it's good to have things where you're out in nature and you're just enjoying yourself and connecting in healthy ways. And having things that you do routinely gives you a sense of things, of well-being and things to look forward to. These are the well-being structures that keep our foundation strong. We build on and build a resilience so we can cope better with life's adversities, challenges, struggles. It doesn't feel as if we're crumbling because we're able to cope better, bounce back better. So that self-investment is so important. Self-care is a word that's bandied around very flippantly. But when we don't invest in ourselves, we don't put the time and work in it, and don't invest in ourselves enough, often enough, frequently enough, why is it surprise when we struggle with mental health? Overwhelmed, anxiety levels that we can't manage, overstressed with duress. Situations happen, circumstances happen, but if we're building on the tools and strategies, if we've had tools and strategies, we owe it to the learning we've had and to the work that we've been given to implement and keep them going. I was doing a course to do with a new product that's available, and I wanted to make sure that I could offer this to my clients. And the practitioner who was giving the training had said, I don't think many people that are consultants or professionals actually challenge clients anymore to keep doing the work. And when they haven't done the work, I don't think they challenge them about that. I don't think it's what we do anymore. Why do we not do that? And I was like, who doesn't? I do. It's not in a judgmental way, but I do ask, what was the block? What prevented you to do it? Is it because it didn't work? If it didn't work, did you do something else? And one of the questions I'll ask is, if you've had some support before, what did you learn? And are you still doing that if it was helpful? Because invariably we've learned strategies and tools if we've been in some kind of support before that were helpful, but we've just stopped doing it because we felt we had got better, we moved on. But when we get these life strategies and tools that we're working, we're meant to do them for life. For life. Because that's about self-investment. That's about saying to yourself, I deserve this good, strong foundation to build up resilience. It's about self-value. So yes, you can call it self-care, but I like to call it self-investment, self-valuing yourself, understanding that you have the ability to keep doing the work. There's no quick fix. I don't wave magic wands. People come to me and say, I want to get through this quickly. And I'll go, So does that mean you're going to be 100% committed and you'll consistently do the work because you're more likely to be able to implement this and continue to do so for life and for it to become a pattern if you're invested and your self-investment is there? Other than that, you're sticking a sticky plaster on something. And we know what happens to that because underneath, the problem's still there. So I say to people, let's get to work. Let's get to work. You need to do the work. You need to put the work in. And it doesn't have to feel arduous and hard. Actually, the more you do it, the better it feels, the more rewarding it feels, the more you benefit from it, and you feel the benefit and you notice. And then you can't imagine not doing it. It just becomes how you are. You benefit, and people around you that love you, that care about you, that see the difference and see the benefit will say, oh, listen, you need to get that going. Because that's working for you. And not only is it working for you, it's working for us now, because we see that you are in a better place. So self-investment is so important. So, why would you not want to build confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, self-value, and have that self-investment in place? And understanding that life has its ups and downs. Emotions come and go. Struggles and challenges, they will pass. We have to hang on in there. And we have to have the right tools to be able to have that resilience and resolve to be able to come through. And understanding that if you do need professional support, it's important to prepare to invest in that, because that is the way it is. That's how things are now. It's about self-investment. Thanks for listening, and have a wonderful weekend. We're on Friday. Fridays are Fridays. And tomorrow's Saturday. Take good care and look after yourself, your self-worth, your self-confidence. Be a self-believer. Okay, you're going to be like, Catherine, tune it down. I can't help it. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take good care. Until next time, keep the requests coming. And if there's a particular subject or topic you want me to talk about, then feel free to message me, and I'm happy to make it the next subject. All the best.